Have you ever found a mixed media kit so inspiring that it felt like the project was creating itself? That's exactly what happened when I opened the new Steam and Frost release by Finnabair, a collection that brings a little magic to every layer. Hi, this is Nuneka. Welcome to my studio. The Steam and Frost collection has an A3 Decoupage fiber sheet, an Ephemera set full of beautiful images and tiny details,
and also a fantastic mixed media kit with jewel effect paste in diamond rings color, snowflake paste,
a set of mica powder, and 3 waxes. One is matte and 2 are metallic. And with that, I'm going to make my project. So first of all, I'm gonna cut this fiber decoupage paper that is not like a regular price paper or decoupage paper. It's much more resistant, and it means that you have to cut it with your scissors to the size that you want, and that is what I'm doing here. I'm going to use soft matte gel to stick it to my wooden panel. One of the coolest things of this kind of fiber paper is that you can reverse it. You can use it the other way if you want to, because the design is so beautiful and the colors are so intense that it will work perfectly. Once I dried the decoupage fiber paper, I'm going to protect it with a little bit of clear gesso, and I'm also going to apply this gesso all over the frame of my wooden panel. Before I start building the composition, I want to add some texture to the background, and for that I'm going to use the jewel effect paste in diamond rings color, applying it through one of the gorgeous Finnabair stencils. This paste has a spectacular shine, and it also has a feature that I love. It can partially absorb the color I apply afterwards without losing that shine, making it very easy to match with the rest of the project. I'm gonna dry this part before adding more texture paste on the right side of the panel so I don't ruin the design. And I will dry this part as well before moving into the next step. For the composition, I have a bunch of resin castings that I have made with the molds from Finnabair's previous release. They are so beautiful and have so many details that I am sure they will add a lot of interest to this composition, making it truly special. From time to time, I will take my focal point to make sure I'm placing the elements exactly where I want them to be. To stick all these elements, I'm using Finnabair Heavy Body Gel. It's a special kind of glue, super thick and strong, that will allow you to glue anything you can imagine. I try to add the elements creating a kind of triangle with my focal point at its widest point. I create layers to add more depth and dimension, and I leave part of the background free so that the composition can breathe and the decoupage paper design can be seen. When building a composition, it always helps to glue the largest elements first, then create layers with medium-sized elements, and finally add the smallest elements to fill in gaps or add details. So for this first layer of elements, I have decided to use gears, numbers, and some plates, because they really match the steampunk concept I have in mind for this project. I want to give a special companion to my focal point, and I have chosen this little beetle, which I am going to place on the largest gear. Finally, I'm going to add some screw heads here and there to finish this part of the project. When everything is glued down, I'm going to dry with the heat gun, or you can also let it dry naturally. I am covering the composition with clear gesso, and this will give me the grip I need for the paints. I have also glued on a couple of extra pieces of resin that will hold the photograph I will use as a focal point. Once I'm done, I'm gonna dry with the heat gun again, and I'll be ready to paint with the liquid acrylics. I have chosen 2 shades of brown that will serve as undertone, creating a vintage effect in the following layers of color. To apply the liquid acrylics, I use a little paint and a lot of water, because I only want to create shadows and depth with these colors. I use amber in the center and burnt sienna at the edges. I know it can look a little bit weird now, but remember, this is just the first layer of color. I'm going to use burnt sienna to darken the boot because it looks super weird being so light, and this will give me the perfect tone I'm looking for and that will match the rest of the project. To avoid the paint getting absorbed too quickly, I wet all the frame with my water spray. Now I dry all the piece very well and remove the excess of water that is trapped in the deepest areas. In the Steam and Frost mixed media kit, you will find these matte wax and color sage leaves. It's really beautiful and subtle, and with the colors that I already have in the background, it will look a little bit grayish and absolutely matte once it's dry. You can already see how this color is matching the texture paste that I added before. And I don't want to cover everything, don't get me wrong. I'm just adding some little bits of this wax here and there to create different depths and different colors. When applying waxes, keep in mind they are a permanent product. You cannot remove it once it's in the project. So it's better to go very light and add more if you need, than going too heavy and have too much covering everything. I think it's a good idea to add a little bit of this wax in some areas of the frame to make it look a little bit dusty. If you want to increase the saturation of wax, you need to let it dry for a few minutes, so you can apply a second coat. For the next layer of colors, I'm going to use Mica Powders. There are so many options that it's hard to decide, but let's pick 2 or 3 to keep things easy. One of my favorite ways to use Mica Powders is creating my own customized sprays. For that, I just put a little bit of water on my mini spray, add tiny spoons of mica powder and a few drops of liquid color fluid medium to make it permanent. Now I can close the sprays, give them a good shake, and they are ready to be used. I'm going to use this dark aubergine color on the bottom part of the composition. And I spray a little bit of water to make the color flow. On the top part, I'm going to use a lightest color, and I didn't dry the previous one, so when they meet, they are going to blend beautifully. Now I'm going to dry the project very well to reveal all this shimmer. Now I want to get back some of this grayish green from the matte wax, so I'm going to apply a little bit here and there. Now I'm taking another wax from the kit and I'm going to add some shadows with it. So I'm going to the bottom part of the composition, the deepest areas, and the areas that I want to darken, because this is graphite. The same way I did with the previous wax, I'm going little by little, not adding too much. I prefer to go a couple of times over the same place than adding too much of the wax in the beginning. I'm going to pay special attention to the beetle because it's a key element in my composition. So I'm adding a little bit of the graphite, but I will go also again with the sage leaves. And now I've taken the third wax as old silver to add some highlights. And I keep playing with the 3 waxes until I'm happy with what I see. Once I'm done, it's time to focus on the focal point because the composition is basically done. I'm gonna take some of the ephemera from the Stain & Frost set and glue them to some art pebbles using soft gloss gel. This will add some beautiful dimension to the project. I just apply the gel on the round ephemera or on the flat side of the pebble and put the 2 pieces together and let it dry. While that is drying, I'm going to work with the rest of the elements of this paper part of the composition. I'm going to cut some pieces, rip off the edges, and make some layers to go around my focal point. I will use small pieces of cardboard to add distance between the layers. The art pebbles are now dry, so I can cut out the excess of the ephemera piece. I want to make sure nothing is going to move, so I'm going to use heavy body gel to glue the last elements. Finally, I'm going to add a sentiment and make some white splatters to add a touch of magic. I am amazed by how many directions this kit can take. I chose a steampunk vibe for this project, but that's just one of the endless possibilities. With the Steam and Frost collection, you can create something soft and romantic, or maybe something dreamy and mysterious, or winter inspired if you want a touch of frost and shimmer. Everything blends beautifully. Decoupage paper, ephemera, pastes, waxes, mica powders. All that connects so naturally that it makes creating pure joy. So don't be afraid to play, to experiment, and to let the products guide you. They might just surprise you too.